In this quick video, we are going to give you some tips and tricks on how to create a flat rate custom shipping option inside of InkSoft. So to begin, what we're going to do is log into the InkSoft admin portal, and once we've done that successfully, we're going to click the settings icon, and you can see where my mouse is hovering. Once you click the settings icon, you're going to want to look at the left-hand side and expand the shopping cart settings option here. Now we're going to go ahead and select shipping. And once we go to the shipping settings, from the drop-down where it says Add New Shipping Account, we're going to select Create Custom Shipping Account. Now what we're going to do is name that shipping account. In this case, I'm just going to put in Flat Rate Shipping. And of course, you can choose at least one store where this shipping option will apply itself. Now you're going to be prompted as we continue along in the process to make a decision again about which stores this shipping option will apply to. So you'll see that as we progress here. Now active means yes, it's available. Of course, you can deactivate it, so you can set it up in advance of maybe a selling opportunity and then reactivate it later. But by default, once you successfully create the shipping account and go to the next step, that will be available and live in the shopping cart. In this case, sort order is which order do you want this to present itself inside of the cart. So you have the choice to say, hey, I want my customers to first have the option to select UPS ground. Next, I want them to choose flat rate shipping, third, pickup, fourth, local delivery. That's what this sort order is intended for. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Now, provided you've entered in everything properly, you'll get a success message. You'll also notice that custom shipping option will display here in your shipping accounts. Now what I can do is click on the accordion that warehouses my flat rate shipping, as you can see here. Now there's two more steps that we need to go through. So step number one is to enter in a shipping method. And for a brand new shipping account, unless you've created a method, you'll see this warning message here that says no shipping method has been configured. So you have a shipping account, which would be like a vendor, UPS, FedEx, or a custom method. Then a shipping method is the actual way that something would be shipped, like ground, overnight, second day. So that will help you understand the sort of the jargon here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new shipping method, and this is sort of step number 2 of 3. And this is where you're just going to make some definitions about this method. You're going to give it a name and some basic rules. So what I'm going to do here is click on the first accordion that says, the second accordion that says Create Custom Shipping Method. And in which case I'm going to give this a name. This will be the name of the method, so this is what people will see in the cart. So the vendor can display along with the name of the shipping method depending on which theme that you happen to be using. So just note that this is what your customer will see in every single instance. So in this case, you might want to just name this, something that's reasonable and super clear. In this case, we'll put in, flat rate ground shipping, whatever's appropriate. Now, again, you have the ability to choose which stores this is going to impact. So in this case, I can unselect all, and I can say, you know what, this is going to apply to a specific store, or I can select multiple stores. So again, you can create custom shipping methods and then choose which web stores those methods will apply to. Gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility in terms of creating the appropriate shipping on a store-by-store basis. Now, description, this is for internal purposes only. Your customers won't see this. That's also optional. Now, I'm not going to go through every single setting here because they're not all very important. I'm just trying to highlight some of the most important settings. Now, calculation. The most common methods here are going to be to calculate the price either on weight or item count. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose item count because it's the most straightforward, and I'll show you what that looks like as we complete the process. But just note, for item count, I can say if customer orders 1 product, I'm going to charge $5. If they order 2 products, I'll charge $6, etc., etc. In contrast, by weight, you might choose to do a weight range. If the item weighs between 0 and 2 pounds, charge $5. If it's between 2.1 pound and $5, charge $8. etc. So whatever is appropriate, go ahead and make that selection. By item count is typically the most common. Now processing days, this is important because this will also display in the cart near the shipping method. How many days will it take you to process the order? So in this case, if I say it takes 2 days to process, I can enter that here. At the same time, transit days and minimum and max. So this is the time it will take once you ship the actual item. How long will it take for it to be delivered, minimum and maximum? So if I say, it could take 1 day if somebody is close. It could take up to 7 days. Now, pay attention to this. This is really important. In the shopping cart, Based on these settings here, InkSoft will display the transit time 3 to 9 days. So what it's going to do is take the process time and add the minimum transit time to display the first value, which would be 3 in this case. And then of course, if you add 7 plus 2, that would equal 9. So it's going to say 3 to 9 days to sort of process and ship the order. Now consider that might be a little different if you're offering a fundraising store. So maybe the fundraising program, you're going to take orders for a 30-day period, and then you're going to go ahead and execute after that. So just be very mindful when you're dialing in your process days and your minimum transit time. Just be very aware of that. One of the other tips too, under the name, you might choose to put in parentheses, all orders ship after campaign expires, in parentheses up here at the name. So folks see that clearly as they choose whatever shipping option is appropriate. Now as we continue down here, again, most of these other options are very self-explanatory because there's a description following each of them. What I'm going to do now is choose a sort order, and that, of course, that's the order in which these shipping methods will showcase or apply. You don't have to complete that. It's up to you. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and click Save, and provided you've entered in everything appropriately, you're going to go ahead and get a success message here, and you'll see your method is now created. Now, the third and final step is to create a pricing schedule along with your custom shipping method. So we created a custom shipping account. That's the first step. Next, we created our shipping method. Third and final, we're going to go ahead and create our pricing schedule. And the way to do that is you're going to go ahead and click the price or the dollar icon that is associated to your shipping method. And if you hover your mouse over that, of course, you can see here it says Set Price Schedule. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and make a selection of that icon. And here, I'm going to go ahead and expand the first option, which says All Stores. So this is going to be a shipping account and method, and I can go back later and apply it to different stores. So you can see here all stores, meaning this is the price rule for every store. The secondary accordion lets you select a specific store and create sort of an override or an exception. So you can have an all store method, but then you could maybe make a special rule for a specific store. That's the difference between those two accordions. Primarily, you're going to be working this top one, all stores. So this is creating a global rule. So what we're going to do now is enter in our values here. If there's 1 unit, I'm going to charge $5. Remember, this is based on item. So if this were based on weight, the look would be a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and click the plus symbol to create another level here. If 2 products, charge $6. Again, I can continue this process. It's pretty straightforward. Enter in the unit count, and then enter in the price that you want to charge. Now, at some point, you're going to have to make a decision. At what point might I offer free or discounted shipping or keep it flat rate? All orders ship for $5. You can make that decision. So in this case, I could have made this really, really simple and said, let me back this up here and I'll show you what this looks like. I can easily say, all right, listen, if they buy between 1 product and 1,000 product, charge $5. So it's always going to be $5 no matter how much they order. So if you want to do a true flat rate shipping and you want to advertise to say all orders ship for $5, very similar to Overstock.com and many, many large retailers, that's a popular strategy. That's how you would configure it. In contrast, if you want to make it scalable, you can again enter in the units and you can make that scale. Now you can also jump segments. So I can say, all right, that's the schedule up to 3. Now, if they buy between 3 and 24, I'm going to charge $8. And if they buy between, let's say, 24 and 100, I'm going to charge, $12 per item or whatever, would be reasonable, or you can make that decision again. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And of course, that price schedule will now be updated and saved. Now, of course, you want to test these once you complete the process. So I like to keep another tab open. And I'm logged in right now as an InkSoft admin, and I can go ahead and experiment and just test. So in this case, I'm going to say, all right, so I have 2 items in the cart. Go ahead and click Checkout Now, and we're going to jump into the cart. And because I'm signed in as an admin, it knows my information. And what I can do now is look at the options available here, and you can see flat rate ground shipping, $6. Now, if we go back and look at our settings here, we have 2 items in the cart. So what should our price schedule be? 2 items in the cart, $6 shipping, and you can see that reflected here inside of the cart. Now you also notice it says $6, and then you can see 3 to 9 days to sort of process and ship. That's the expectation you're establishing. And remember where I showed you where you're going to set your process time and your minimum and maximum transit time. So be very mindful, again, when you're doing a fundraising program to describe that. Now remember, another way to describe it, we had flat rate ground shipping. I could have put parentheses, processes and ships upon conclusion of fundraising program, or whatever is appropriate description. You could go and enter that there. So again, this has been a tutorial on how to create a free or a flat rate shipping method, a custom shipping method inside of InkSoft. Now, of course, if you have questions or you need assistance, please reach out to our support team. We'd be happy to give you some insights and help you complete your custom shipping methods.